Diamond Cut.
Greetings, everybody. This is 6 Degrees, also known as DJ Flash Jordan, and I'm here with the wonderful, the great, the fabulous Dr. Denise. Is your middle name start with a P, right?
Yes, Patricia.
Dr. Denise Patricia Barrett. You might know her as Miss FAMU, one of my favorite Miss FAMUs. Not just because she was in J school and because she was a personal friend of mine. How you doing, Denise?
I'm doing great, Gus. Thank you. I'm blessed. Thank you so much.
I saw you for the first time in 20 years, 2 years ago at homecoming.
Yes.
And you look wonderful in school, but it's like, wow, I'm like, golly, black don't crack. So how have things been going for those who have not seen you?
Oh, things have been wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I mean, I just have been very blessed since leaving FAMU. I've had a wonderful life professionally, personally. As we all know, we've had our challenges throughout life, but our challenges just make us better. I have a beautiful son. He's 10 years old. Wonderful career in education. Didn't go the journalism route, but I've had ways of incorporating that throughout my journey. Yes. And, just again, rich friendships, happy to be back in Tallahassee now. And that certainly has enriched my life, being so close to the Florida A&M University again, and being able to be back amongst the Rattler family and being in the Miss FAMU circle. Closer. I feel like being at FAMU has brought me closer to that. And, it's just been wonderful, Gus. And just even being able to be interviewed by you, I feel like this is bringing me closer to the family. So I'm happy.
I'm good. I'm turning red now. Hey, so you graduated, you finished in 93, correct?
Yes, correct. 1993, spring 93. Mm-hmm.
I was very proud of you, first of all. But I was like tripping because we're both in journalism, both in J school. Mm-hmm. And when you got to FAMU, was journalism your major when you got to FAMU?
I actually entered in the School of General Studies. I did my first semester, the fall of '89, in General Studies. And then I declared my major in journalism. So I started in journalism in spring of '90, actually. Uh-huh.
I think that's the same thing. I might have started spring of '91. I came to FAMU thinking I wanted to major in SBI.
Uh-huh. I think all of us wanted that with that phenomenal Dr. Mobley.
Right. Rest in peace to Dr. Mobley. SBI, right? Yeah. Thought I wanted to be in the band too. I was a bass drummer in marching band in high school. But then I got to FAMU. I was like, wow. Being in SBI was like pledging. Being in the band was like pledging. And so I was like, there's a certain fraternity I wanted to pledge. I'm like, I'm not pledging more than once, right? So I was like, I'm going to figure out what I want to do. So I went to general studies and make a long story short, started writing for the FAMU and DJing on WAMF 90.5. And then I decided, broadcast journalism was what I wanted to do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I was so proud of you because you were Miss FAMU, and I'm like, wow, it's got to be very tedious and very busy. But you graduated before I did, so I was like, okay, cool. And we had a few classes together, like telecom environment and broadcast news and radio news, and so I got to know you better at that point. Mm-hmm.
Yes, my mom didn't play that. In fact, before I came to FAMU, she was like, okay, I'm giving you 1 year. 1 year up in Tallahassee, and that's it. If you don't prove yourself within that 1 year, you coming right back home. So I knew that I had to be on a schedule, on a track, or else Vivia was going to make me go back home to Miami And I did not want that. I did not want to have to go to Miami-Dade or FIU or all those schools down there. Nothing against those schools, but I, after watching the movie School Days, because we came up in that era, Spike Lee with School Days and Bill Cosby with A Different World, really shaped our generation. It really did. I kudos to those gentlemen to shaping a generation. I call us the HBCU generation. And I knew that that's where, after I visited Bethune-Cookman and FAMU my junior year, and then I got the opportunity to visit FAMU again my senior year, and I was sold. I knew that I had to have that Black college experience. And my mom said, well, you can go wherever you want as long as it's in the state of Florida. And I knew, being a Miami girl, I wanted to get as far away from Miami as I possibly could, and that was Tallahassee. So she said, okay, well, I'm just giving you 1 year to prove yourself. And I did. I came back. I'd made the honor roll. I had one Miss Sophomore. I was your Miss Sophomore too. So she said, well, look at you now. You went up there and outdid yourself in the 1 year. So I still knew that I had to be on track and on schedule in order to keep my mom's expectations of me. So hence I was able to come out, graduate in 4 years in 93.
Okay. So after graduation, did you stay in Tallahassee the whole time, or did you go back to Miami?
No. I went home immediately. I actually wanted to go to grad school in Atlanta, and I visited and I applied to Georgia State, and then somehow at the last minute I chickened out. I don't know why, but I chickened out, and I ended up wanting to go back home to Miami. I don't know. I just got cold feet, so I ended up going back home to Miami, and I started working at Barry University as an admissions counselor. And that was a cool job. I really enjoyed higher ed. That was my first taste of higher ed, because I was still kind of coming off of that wonderful high of being Miss FAMU and the whole recruiting and all that stuff. And I got to recruit in admissions. And then I also began my graduate studies at FIU. I started working on my master's, and I continued on the journalism tip, but it was not broadcast at that point. It was public relations. So I did continue with grad school, but it wasn't Georgia State, it was FIU. And I stayed home in Miami. But ironically, I did not go the route of PR. I did several internships in the field of communications, but at that same time, as I was recruiting both locally in South Florida and nationally. I was flying all around the country recruiting. But as I was recruiting locally, I still knew a lot of people in Miami, and they suckered me into start substitute teaching. Hence the beginning of my education career. That is how I have spent the last, I would say, almost 30 years now. We're going on 30 years in the fields of education.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I got, because everybody's like, wow, I didn't see the doctor in educational leadership coming from anywhere. How did that happen? Because even now, especially when I work for the Department of Education, I used to do a lot of lectures at the College of Education. And when I would speak with students over there, I said, actually, I'm a Rattler, but my degree came from across the parking lot over there from the J School. And they're like, wait a minute, Dr. Denise, how did that happen? How did you, wait a minute, but you're over here talking to us. And I would explain how the transition happened. So my background is unique. But one of the reasons the Commissioner of Education would often say she hired me was because of that unique background. The fact that I had the communication skills coupled with the doctorate in educational leadership was such a unique mix. That's exactly what they needed at the time for my particular position that was created for me.
Okay, so I want to congratulate you, because you're the first sister that has been on my show on 6 Degrees and Beyond. And I got the idea to get you on here because it's a new group on Facebook called FAMU Vintage Photos. So I had my yearbook out, and it was a lot of my favorite photos, pictures of you with Kid Capri, your favorite DJ. Also just pictures of you, period, because you were working it. So, I put them up, and like the internet stopped because people had so many nice things to say about Miss FAMU, about Denise Barrett. when I hear Miss FAMU, I think of you.
Oh,
You know.
You're too kind. I'll pay you later, Gus. Thank you.
It's all good. So okay, when I saw you and your son on campus, you were working at the time with pageantries within the state of Florida?
Yes, I was. At the time, I actually had taken over the license to run the Miss Tallahassee scholarship pageant, which was a local preliminary to the Miss Florida pageant. So that was my little pet project at the time, and I loved it because actually right before I won Miss FAMU, I actually competed in the Miss Tallahassee pageant. So that was fun for me to be able to have gotten that opportunity to run the Miss Tallahassee pageant for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And it was exciting. It was very self-actualizing for myself to be able to help empower young women through mm-hmm. scholarship, beauty, and education, which is what I stand for, which I truly believe in pageantry. Because you probably know about my history. Vanessa Williams is a very good friend of my family. And I had the opportunity. Yes, I'm originally a New Yorker. I'm originally from the Bronx. I was born in, you didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. Hence and you said you were going to bring this up, hence the New York Mercury Polygram and Essence internships when I was at FAMU. Mm-hmm. My eldest sister, she now resides in South Florida, but at the time, she's the one that stayed in New York. She was living in Brooklyn, and she got me those internships. But Vanessa Williams is a very dear friend of our family. And so I've had that pageantry influence throughout my life. So to have the opportunity to work with the Miss America organization and bring the Miss Tallahassee pageant back after it had been on hiatus for so many years, and not only bring it back, but bring it to Lee Hall, because I held it in Lee Hall, which was where I was crowned Miss FAMU, was amazing. And to have empowered those young women through pageantry, as I always say, beauty, education, self-love, and scholarship, to just bring that to life through pageantry was an amazing experience. And it's not over. I plan on my future. I feel like there's so much more of it left. So it's just a matter of time before I reinvent myself through something else. But that was exciting for me to be able to make that happen, especially to bring it on FAMU's campus. In fact, I thought about this, the reigning Miss, the brand new Miss FAMU, Erica Johnson. She was the entertainment. She was one of the intermission acts at my first Miss Tallahassee pageant, and she sang beautifully. And she's the one that just won via social media because of the coronavirus pandemic. But she did a beautiful job. She opened with the national anthem at the FAMU's first ever. I don't know if you got a chance to check out the virtual graduation on Saturday, but it was beautiful. And Erica opened it, and we had a former Miss FAMU that was the keynote speaker, Angela Robinson. She plays on Tyler Perry's Have and the Have-Nots.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Diamond Cut.
6 Degrees with Dr. Denise Barrett, aka Miss FAMU in the flesh. So I did know you had a Jamaican background, correct?
Yes. My parents, my entire family are Jamaican.
Mother and father.
Mother and father.
Oh, great. I knew that, and I kind of guessed that. You remind me a lot of Naomi Campbell. You have a aura about yourself. Like when you come into the room, the presence is known, and, and so that's when I guessed when I saw you at Homecoming, I was like, yeah, I think she's Caribbean, most likely. But I didn't know you knew Vanessa Williams, who is my favorite Miss America. Matter of fact, she reminds me of my mother a lot. My mother, was a Spelman woman, and my mother paid for all my tuition, all my schooling, my undergrad when I went to FAMU. But she told me, Gus, you can go anywhere you want to go. Money is not an option. I will pay your tuition, and love my mom. And she's sick right now, but I want to wish her, speedy recovery.
I've been praying for her.
Appreciate that. Tell me about, so when did you meet Miss Williams?
Okay, so, well, my family, I was born, actually, I'm going to go from the beginning. I never understood why my mom always told me, so we lived in the Bronx, right? When my family migrated here from Jamaica, the first place they moved was Detroit. And then they moved from Detroit to New York, right? And they had me in New York. And I never understood why my mother was always telling me what hospital I was born in, right? She said, you're born in Lenox Hill Hospital. You were born in Lenox Hill Hospital. You were born in Lenox Hill Hospital. Now, Lenox Hill Hospital is in Manhattan, right? Now, we lived in the Bronx. My mom is a nurse, retired nurse her whole life, ever since she lived in Jamaica. But I could never understand, why did my mom always tell me what hospital I was born in? Like, what's the big deal? Well, fast forward to when, you remember when Beyonce had Blue Ivy?
Yes.
And remember the story was she shut down the whole hospital. She had the floor to herself. Well, if you Google this, the hospital was Lenox Hill Hospital. So my mom was like, okay, now do you see why I kept telling you what hospital you were born in? That's a big deal. That was a prominent hospital. That was a very well-off hospital. So I always jokingly say, what do me and Blue Ivy have in common, or Beyonce and my mom have in common? So Blue Ivy and I were born in the same hospital. Like, that's a big deal. My mom's like, I've been telling you your whole life that you were born in a very prominent hospital, but you didn't believe me until Beyonce had her daughter in. Now you see where you come from. You come from a prominent hospital. So that's the story with that. But anyway, I lived in the Bronx until I was 5. I jokingly say, okay, me, J-Lo and Cardi B are my Bronx sisters, right? So then we moved to Miami. So I still don't claim New York because I don't really remember it. I claim Miami. I claim the 305 because that's where I grew up. But anyways, long story short, I have family from upstate New York, Chappaqua. That's where the Clintons, I don't know if they still live there, but I know the Clintons lived in Chappaqua for a while. And the town over is called Millwood. That's where Vanessa Williams is from. Her and her brother were raised there. Her parents were music teachers. And so Millwood and Chappaqua were side by side. So our families grew up together, right? Vanessa's mom and my aunt are still very close. I mean, they get together every week. So, I mean, they've known each other forever. And I remember when Vanessa won Miss Syracuse, that was her local, like how I ran Miss Tallahassee. So Vanessa ran for Miss Syracuse because she was a sophomore at Syracuse when she became Miss America. And I remember my cousin Lauren saying, Vanessa just won Miss Syracuse. She's getting ready to go to the Miss New York pageant. I was like, oh, wow, that's great. Because I was like in 7th grade or something. And then I remember her winning Miss New York, and they're like, well, she's going to Miss America. And I was thinking, well, all right, well, she probably won't win because she's Black. Next thing I know, my aunt and uncle were going to the Miss America pageant. I'm like, okay, we'll see. And then next thing she knows, she won. And I was like, oh my gosh, right? So that summer, I remember going to New York for Christmas. In fact, I have the picture. If you want, I'll put it to the screen. I made it in my school newspaper. I was in 7th grade of me and Vanessa by the Christmas tree. Like me in 7th grade, standing next to Vanessa Williams by her Christmas tree in her house, her parents' house. Mm-hmm. And because I made my school's newspaper. So that's when I met her. And throughout the years, like my aunt has always kept her updated on me. Even when I took over the Miss Tallahassee pageant, Vanessa was excited to hear that. She's always kept up with me and my life and what I was doing. So that's the story. And then even when I was at Mercury Polygram, Vanessa, that was the label she had just signed with. Remember the Right Stuff?
Yes.
And Comfort Zone and all that. She was on that label. And I remember, like, as the intern, putting together her little press kits and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, just being so excited to be doing stuff for Vanessa. Because, you know, to this day, I mean, I love Vanessa. So that's my story with that.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So I learned about Polygram, that you were at Polygram through my my good friend and my co-host.
Between my sophomore and junior year.
Yeah, Ali Muhammad, because he was there. And I thought Ali was I thought y'all were dating at first, because y'all would be talking a lot about, but then, you know, we were in the same class. So, you know, I kind of just figured out, like, oh, they're both from Miami, you know.
Yeah,
so,
we went to high school together.
Norland High School, right?
Norland,
Home of the Vikings.
Home of the Vikings.
Home of all the pretty women, too, from what my freshman roommate, Brandon Bell, told me. He went to Miami Central, the Rockets.
Yeah, we have that reputation at our school. Mm-hmm.
He was like, Gus, Norland got all the red bones, all the pretty girls. Go to Norland. So it was interesting because I had a critique about the Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs album that had come out, I think like in 91, 92.
Yeah.
And, you had a lot of funny stories for me about different artists on Polygram, like Black Sheep, Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs. The one thing I remember was you said Ed O.G. was trying to holler at you and everything. And at first y'all were like real close, but he wasn't really hollering like outright. He was kind of like sneakily trying to holler at you. You were like, you need to be a father to your child. Thought about that and just bust out laughing. Never forgot that.
Yeah.
I remember you also telling me that Andre Titus, who was dressed from Black Sheep, was had a reputation for trying to be a ladies' man, you know, in his persona, because you worked in artist and development at that time.
Yeah.
And basically, you were telling me his trademark was going to be his black book, and you were like, "That's so lame. You know, you should do it some other way." But there's a lot of interesting stories that both you and Ali told me about, you know, Polygram.
Yeah. I helped connect Ali with some people up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those were the days. I enjoy it. And I remember, wow, and it makes me think of now Andre Harrell's.
Yeah, rest in peace to Andre Harrell.
Yeah.
We took a hit, 3 people we lost. Little Richard from Macon, Georgia.
Yeah.
Andre Harrell and Betty Wright.
Betty Wright. Yeah.
Rest
all
in
of them
peace.
like back to back to back. Wow.
Yeah. I love Betty Wright. Grew up on Betty Wright.
Yes.
And one thing I remembered, Lil Wayne, who recently reestablished himself in Miami, said that Betty Wright was the one who taught him how to play guitar. You know.
Yeah, I saw that because they had recently done an unsung on Betty Wright, and he spoke on it.
Yeah,
he spoke. He was like one of the people talking about Betty Wright and being under her tutelage. Yeah.
Have you been checking out the Versus challenges on IG?
Oh, you mean like Teddy Riley and?
Yes.
Oh, and yes. What my Line sisters sent out that one. Like I got it right after the next day after Teddy and Babyface. Oh, amazing! And I started listening to Erica and Jill Scott.
Right.
I saw that on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So Erica said that Betty Wright co-wrote AD 2000 on her Mama's Gun album. Betty Wright co-wrote that song for her.
Really?
Helped her write that song. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So. Yeah, Betty was something else. And on the unsung, Angie Stone is speaking, Regina Bell. I mean, all these girls really looked up to Miss Betty.
Yep. So, all right, cool. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, I want to bring your son on, and I want him to I'm going to ask him a few questions, and we'll talk about some other stuff. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Thank you.
Q Time is our classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, 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 motivation.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
Diamond Cut.
It's 6 Degrees. I return with Dr. Denise Barrett, who forever will be etched in my mind as Miss FAMU, because I bleed orange and green, and always got venom inside me. So oh yeah, I remember when we were up on the hill, Suzette Charles came and spoke at FAMU. And they made her Miss America after they took the crown away from Vanessa Williams, but they still had a really good relationship because she still recognized Vanessa as Miss America. In spite of that, were you able to bond with Miss Charles when she came up to the hill?
Now, I don't remember Suzette coming. I remember Debbie Turner coming.
That's right, Debbie Turner came.
I remember Marjorie Vincent coming. And do you remember when I brought Kenya Moore?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal. When I tell people that now, they're like, what? I mean, I got the pictures to prove that too. They're like, housewife Kenya Moore. I'm like, yes, housewife Kenya Moore.
Yeah,
that was my doing.
Rob Hardy got her in Twa. She was in
Twa. I remember when
mm-hmm.
that came out. Yes. Yep. But I don't remember Suzette. Gus, when did she come?
I'm thinking about Debbie Morgan. That's what it is.
Yes. Yeah. I got a chance to meet Debbie Turner, correct.
Debbie Turner, my bad.
Yeah.
Debbie Turner.
Yeah,
Debbie Morgan is the lady from the soap. Debbie Turner.
Yes. Debbie Turner is a veterinarian now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She was always studying that. I believe she's still on that track. I think she does some television reporting now too.
Okay. Yeah, Kenya Moore, I became familiar with her. I would never forget from when she served on Video Soul with Donnie Simpson,
Kenya Moore did that?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
When? Now, I missed that.
In right after she was, I can't remember if it was before or after she was Miss USA, but she was on there for a while. And then I know she appeared in Senseless with Marlon Wayans, briefly. But yeah, so, all right, cool. So your current position, you working in education, explain, what are you doing? And
yes, I'm so excited. I am currently working educational sales and consulting for a company called Educational Boot Camp. And the owner is a colleague of mine that we actually worked and taught together back in Miami back in the days. And she is absolutely a genius. We provide products and services to schools that are looking to improve their math and science scores, which at this point, it's all about STEM education and helping students get more interested, engaged, and involved in STEM education at all levels and improving schools, even from a global level on down. It's all about the STEM fields. So it's exciting. My ex-husband is in the sales business, and, all throughout our marriage, I kind of admired him as a salesman, and I always kind of wanted to get in that game. And he used to always say, but you were made for education. You're going to be the next Marva Collins and all that stuff. And I'm like, I get that, but I really think that I could be great with sales. So now I feel like I'm blessed to be able to marry the two. And it's just been a great journey, because after having a lengthy career from being a teacher to an administrator to working at the state level, now to be able to do this. And now I'm finally able, I'm about to work at FAMU. Oh gosh, at the College of Education, the dean is bringing me on to work with her to manage a huge grant that she's received under the National Science Foundation to help just that more, to bring in more minority women at the professor level, to get more Black women to teach STEM. And so I'm excited about that. I mean, to now be getting in at the academic, the academy at that level with this organization also they partner with called Sisters of the Academy. And we're working in collaboration with Bethune-Cookman, Florida Memorial, FIU, USF, and those 5 institutions in Florida. I'm super excited about that the dean thought so highly of me. She's also a soror, to be able to work with her and to be, on the yard. I'm super excited. You know me as a former Miss FAMU. I just love to be able to have my impact on campus as well. So I'm excited.
Working in education, have you been able to work closely with Daryl Jones, another FAMU alumni?
Not yet. He is on the school board. I heard him on the radio the other day on the Sean Pittman show. So just super excited about, just being able to do all these things. And I know eventually my paths will cross with Daryl. I mean, I see him socially all the time, but just to be able to do all these things on all these different levels, I am just thrilled beyond belief.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was your Mother's Day?
Oh, my Mother's Day was the best ever. That's what I posted on Instagram. My son is getting older now, and he's just all about giving mommy the best Mother's Day and making her happy.
That was a beautiful picture I saw on Instagram. And I got a chance to meet Reginald, not this homecoming, but homecoming before last. And you look great, Denise. I was like tripping, like, this is your son? You got a son this old? Like, I'm like, you told me you had a little brother, And he's wonderful. So we're gonna break, and when we come back, I'm gonna interview him a little bit, tell him what it was like meeting all these beautiful queens and everything, while hanging out with mom and a few other things. All right.
All right.
When we come back.
Okie doke.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Q Time is a classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
Diamond Cut.
Six Degrees. I'm back with Dr. Barrett and her son, Reginald Johnson, better known as Thriller. You didn't know I knew that. Reginald, why they call you Thriller, my man?
Like Michael Jackson.
You like Michael Jackson?
Yeah, it's too embarrassing.
I'm a big Michael Jackson fan too. Don't be embarrassed. Hey, you remember me from Homecoming?
Yes.
You probably don't. It's all good. Good to see you, brother. How was your Mother's Day?
Good.
That's cool. I seen pictures of you hanging out with your mother when she worked for the Miss Florida pageant and things of that nature. What was that like, man, being around all those wonderful campus queens and things of that nature?
Awesome.
You seemed like you was just chilling in the spot, man. Just chilling. Now I know your Uncle Daryl Parks got you to try to pledge a certain fraternity that was the first one in the D9. But I'm here to tell you that, you know what I'm saying, Omega's always looking for fine intellectual scholars like yourself, sir. All right? So if you want to pledge, you know, you can just call Uncle Gus and I'll write your letter, all right?
Okay.
What grade are you in?
Fourth.
Fourth grade?
Fourth.
What's your favorite subject?
I have several.
That's a good thing.
Math. I actually have 3 favorite ones. Math.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I like math, science, and reading.
Okay, great. Terrific. I'm an English professor myself. Not too good at math. I'm okay in it. But
what about history?
History? Oh, very good. Very good. So I was just telling your mother, historically, she's been the first woman to appear on 6 Degrees and Beyond, which is my show. They call me 6 Degrees Reginald because they say I know everybody. And now I know Reginald Johnson, also known as Thriller, and his mother, the great Dr. Denise Barrett. Patricia Barrett? Patricia Barrett. Anything you like to add, Miss FAMU? Because you'll always be Miss FAMU to me.
I just want to add how honored I am. You say I'm the first woman to ever be on your show?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm definitely honored that you thought so much of me to make me the first woman to be on the show. No, you don't need to get my crown.
Yes.
And thank you for featuring Reginald as well, you know, because we are a mother and son team. And if you notice on my post, I'm always putting moms and sons because, you know, it's difficult being a single mom. And I love the way you're always honoring your mother and your grandmother. You know, you're always talking about them in high regard. Oh, he went and got my Miss FAMU crown, Gus.
Okay.
Look at him. He's crowning me.
I love that.
Okay, so.
And the sash.
Here it is. Okay, he wants me to put on the crown and the sash, y'all. So.
You know you like it.
My son is asking me to do this.
It's all good.
Thank you, Reggie.
No problem.
So thank you. You know, I'm just doing this because Reggie brought it. But
it's all good.
So he wanted me to put this on right quick. So thank you. You know, I like you, Gus. Miss FAMU will always be in my heart.
Oh, thank you.
And, you know, anything I can do in the future to support you in your show.
All right.
Please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay.
Roy, it was great communicating with you as well. And, you know, be blessed. Be blessed, FAMUans and everybody. And let's just look at this pandemic as a way of us to bless others and get closer and stay connected. I think if anything, this pandemic has made us closer and brought us back together. So let's continue in that.
And like Dr. Humphrey said, when all hope seems lost, when it's dark clouds, things don't seem right. One thing you can always count on, rattlers will strike and strike and strike again.
That's right. That's right.
Woo! I always wanted to say that.
Amen. Yep.
So, my friend Derek, I forgot Derek's last name. In journalism, wanted to tell you hello. He did one of your first interviews when you were Miss FAMU at the FAMU. He's asking me,
I think I remember that.
Yeah, he said, where is she? I'm like, oh man, she's in Tallahassee, working in education. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think soon I'm going to be interviewing another beautiful woman named Denise. Denise Hendricks, one of my mentors.
Right. Yeah, she's up there in Atlanta with you, right?
She is. Outstanding progression. She's worked with Oprah Winfrey. Back in school, we used to tease her. We used to call her Oprah Winfrey, you know, because she was just all over the place. in J school. And I'm gonna she's gonna be the second sister that I have on my show. And
tell her I said hello. I saw her at this homecoming this past year.
Okay.
Her and Bernie.
Yep.
Yep. Her and Bernie.
Little bacon fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, for the record, the picture I put up of you in the FAMU Vintage group on Facebook is like shut down the internet. And the picture I put up of her and Colonel Hendricks, my prepper, may he rest in peace, broke down the internet, and I put the pictures of all of you up, And so I'm so proud to call both of y'all friends, even though y'all play different Beta Alphas. I love Beta Alpha, period. And that's that.
And just for the record, Ben is trying to get Trey to be an Omega Lamplighter right now. So that's right. And you know what, Gus? You have my permission because I haven't done it. You can post that picture of what I sent you today. I would love that to go into the vintage. But sometimes, the thing I sent you from the FAMU.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
I think you would like to see that. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna send. All right. Anything you want to add?
No, I'm finished. Just family love.
All right, baby. When I come back to Tallahassee, once the social distancing is down, mimosas on me.
Okay.
You know how we do PG love.
Yeah, I'll be glad with this thing. And Tallahassee is quasi open. I heard all this going on up there in Georgia.
Oh yeah.
Y'all were open before us.
Yeah, but it's still trying to keep stuff in perspective, because first it was just like barbershops, places that African Americans frequent that were open, and still got to be careful, things of that nature. My kids are in Tampa. I do know the beaches are open and Disney is open somewhat, but it's like weird social distancing rules at Disney. But like my mama, my grandmama used to say and still say, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right, thank you. Are we done?
We are.
Okay.
You want to give me a little wave like you used to do on the float? Okay.
All right, so